Hello and welcome to today's video where I really want to talk about self-concept and what it takes to really begin to create something new in your life. It's all about the ability to transform how you perceive yourself. So when we are leveling up in our business and when we are creating something we've never had in our lives before, it's deeply, deeply important that we begin with setting some really clear values for what we want to experience and how those values are going to drive every single aspect of our lives. Self-concept is one of the biggest drivers to actually co-creating the reality that you want, because nothing can change on the external world unless we change it from within. So this requires us to do some deep, deep introspective inquiry work to really get to the core of what we are believing is possible for ourselves and what we truly believe is that we are capable of. So let me give you a story. Back in 2018, on one side of the coin, I was leading a school. So I had this identity of a professional, of somebody who was driven and highly ambitious, somebody who cared deeply for her work and was deeply passionate for the work that my creative contribution into the world. And that drive to be the best at what I did in terms of education and leading a school, cultivating culture, leading by example, drove me to work in a way that was deeply unbalanced. But I still experienced a deep sense of love for what I was doing. But what happened was I didn't have balance, and so I ended up depleting myself and to the point of exhaustion, and was not able to continue the vision that I wanted to bring forward in education, because I got to the point where I was like, what is this life? There has to be more to life, which is obviously where I began to awaken and expand my consciousness into understanding that there was a different way. There was a way that we could become more in tuned and present and intuitive and connected to the synchronicities of life and co-create in a more balanced way. It didn't have to be sheer force of will. And that's because my experience and my perception of what was possible shifted through the evidence that was created from life experience. So what comes first? Is it something in your life changing to shift your perception? Or do you, as a co-creator, decide, I'm going to start to set intentions and I'm going to decide who I want to be? And therefore that begins to be the driving force of how you start to shift and create new self-concept. And with this new sense of identity, your behaviors change, your thought patterns change, and how you show up in the world changes, your motivation changes. So when it comes to building a business, and when I work with clients in a coaching container, when we're building a human design based business, the first thing that we really need to begin with is understanding, who am I? Who am I? Who am I truly? Who am I based on the activations in my chart? Who am I based on the definition in my chart? Who am I based on the experiences and the skills and the education and the themes that I've experienced in my life? And from there, we can begin to create that new narrative and that new direction for creating a new experience in your life that is self-directed and co-creative.